I'm in my 30s.
That's good. That's close. Yeah. It's a range.
Yeah, I'm in the quarter ballet with American Ballet Theatre and started choreographing at the Royal Ballet School when I was younger. Didn't do it for a long time and picked it back up with American Ballet Theatre and their choreographic initiatives. That's my story.
I'm Cirio. I am from Pennsylvania, and I'm 25. And I currently dance with American Ballet Theatre. I danced with Boston Ballet for 7 years, and I am residing in New York now. So, I trained at Central Pennsylvania Youth Ballet.
Hi, my name is Cassandra Trenary. I grew up in Georgia and trained at the Lawrenceville School of Ballet there. I moved to New York in 2009, trained at the JKO school, and joined the company in 2011. So that's what I'm at.
Hi, I'm Catherine Hurlin. I'm Catherine's daughter. I'm 20. I grew up with the JKO, and I joined AET 3 years ago. So this is my 3rd year in the company.
Hello, I'm Marcelo Gomes, born in Brazil. I am 37. And started studying ballet in Brazil. I moved to a school in Florida called the Hurlin Conservatory for 3 years, and then I studied at Paris Opera Ballet School. And then I joined American Ballet Theatre in 1997. Therefore, next year will be my 20th season with the company.
My name is Daniel Ulbrich. I'm a dancer in New York City Ballet, originally from Florida. Moved to New York in '99 to go to SAB and started the company shortly thereafter. So I've been there for a long time now. I'm 32. Next question.
Okay, so this is for the choreographers. If you could describe the beginning of when you decided. Did you decide that you wanted to choreograph? Were you compelled to do it, or was it somebody approached you and said, "Oh my gosh, would you make a dance?" Because I think there are different ways that people come to the creative process. That sometimes it's sort of put upon you, or sometimes it's like, "I have to do this, and I have to find a way to do it." What was that experience?
Yeah, like Gemma, I started choreography in school in Florida, and I did one piece there, but then left it for, until much later. And I always kind of would grab Misty Copeland on the side of class and would start improvising with her and start making kind of movements and kind of joking around. And some of my friends started saying, I think that you should try to make something, make a pas de deux, or try to choreograph. And I didn't think that I was going to reintroduce that into my life. And then I started I always heard music around when I was little and always danced at home. So there was natural improvisational skills that were built from when I was little. And then I just kind of took off after that.
Jeff?
Yeah, so I actually started choreographing on a surprise. I was doing a competition for the Helsinki International Ballet Competition, and I decided to take a chance and create my own piece. I grew up around a lot of hip-hop and hip-hop freestyling. So like what Marcelo was saying, like a lot of the freestyle movement came natural to me, and I grew up around my dad spinning records, and so music was very involved in my life, in an urban way, I guess I would say, not so classically. But yeah, I never thought, I introduced the idea of choreographing a piece and never thought it would be perceived very well. And someone was like, maybe you should start choreographing like with your sister. My sister's also a dancer. She dances with Boston Ballet. And so my second piece I ever made was a pas de deux with her. And then from there, I really haven't stopped. I've just been working on different little projects and pieces. So.
Well, I would say I started in the Royal Ballet School because they had a competition every year, but I didn't really take it seriously. It was just something fun to do, and I enjoyed doing it. Also, I guess when I was a kid, like I'm sure you guys, my parents have hideous videos of me bossing around my cousins, making dances to like Michael Jackson. So, so there's always that. But yeah, I didn't pick it back up again until I joined ABT, and there was a class actually. Like there was a class, Stephen Peer from Juilliard came and taught 7 women. I'm the only one that stuck with it, but it was a great class, and it made me appreciate all the tools that I have, and that being in 2 great companies has provided me with all these tools, and why not carry on? I love this and try and work at it. So I've been working at it since, I guess now, 6 years.
Okay, and so for all of you, the choreographers, and Daniel too, since you are, director for Dance Against Cancer and stars in the American Ballet, I think you can contribute to this question too. This idea of you have incredibly busy, dedicated lives to your craft and taking care of your bodies and taking care of what it is you have to do at your day job. And so suddenly, how do you balance, and what are the challenges of having this other side of you, this other creative expression that you want to do, whether it's choreographing or producing and such, and what are the rewards, what are the challenges and what are the rewards from being part of a larger organization?
So the challenge is there's 24 hours in a day. And to those who know me very well, I occupy most of them. I always say the dancing part's the easiest part. It's really the logistics of creating something, an event for other people. So, coming here tonight, there's all the behind the scenes work that had to go into this. You all show up, but there's a lot of other things that go on. And it's really being on that side.
Thank you for
No, it's true. It's very true. And I think anytime you attach a cause to something, specifically Dance Against Cancer, which is very close to my heart, and now working with DIRA, which, just so you know, as of tonight, anything you need from me, you have.
You said it.
Everyone heard it.
Please know that. No, I think you find this energy. You find something that's bigger than you. That's hard. It's bigger than the challenge of your day, regardless if you have rehearsals or a bad show or whatever. And you find this energy that allows you to have an outlet. And I know this about myself now. I'm wired to work and to figure out these puzzles and clues and things. And it does take time. It takes practice.
How long did it take you? Like how long had you been in the company before you started these other projects?
I started, this will be 7 years, next year will be 7 years for Dance Against Cancer, and it would probably be 9 years that I've had Stars American Ballet. So it started when I was a little younger, but it also started from a very personal cause. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she couldn't come to New York, so I brought the show to her. And I fell in love with the process of putting that on.
Well, and I feel that we're called to this.
I think that's really the difference.
It continues for maybe different reasons, but the initial impetus is you're called to it.
Absolutely. I read an interesting book the other day that says you can have a job, you can have a career, you can have a calling.
Yeah.
And so I think any artist feels that calling for what he or she does.
Well, I hope so. There's no reason to do this hard work. It's just because you're called to it.
How do you juggle everything? Is that what
Just that idea of like there are challenges and rewards.
Yeah.
You have dancers at the ready. Do you find that, okay, I can just I mean, obviously, that is an advantage compared to freelance choreographers that are out there that are constantly having to search and or find dancers to work with, where the resources you have, and might I add, the space.
Yeah.
Now, I will
Space is so
say,
difficult to
whenever
find.
I do something for a DIRA event, it is a task for us to find rehearsal space for especially freelance choreographers. Yes, you know, like we had to find this space here at Ballet Hispanico. But, you know, the fact that none of you called me and say, you know what, I can't find a studio. Do you have that for at City Ballet too, that access to studios in the building?
We do, but I mean, running a ballet company schedule even at ABT, it's sort of like JFK Airport and like an ER call ward, you know?
But Marcelo, do you find that that works in your favor?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to do a ballet for, you know, for a major ballet company, but it's so hard actually to find time to choreograph on everybody because everyone has many different ballets, and I have to take care of my own body as well. So it's a really difficult thing to kind of program, but you just have to find your own way, and I think it works differently for everybody. But the great thing about doing projects that are not attached to the company is that you do have more time, and you can say, okay, I don't like this, I like that, and when you're in a time limit, then you have to be prepared for the dancers that are going to be in the room.
Jeff, what's your experience with the collective?
Well, I'll be going to my third season with the collective, and the collective is a project that my sister and I kind of threw together, I guess you could say, and it was on a whim. So it was, we do 2 residencies, one in Cape Cod and one in Martha's Vineyard at the Vineyard Arts Project. And I mean, it is hard, but we are a summer-based project. But like this year, Gemma and I will be both in the Ballet Festival at the Joyce Theater. And so,
Which
As-
information is on the back of your program.
and we're both getting ready for that. I know that Gemma's already starting that process, and I'm currently juggling that process too, since most of my dancers are spread now, and originally they were all at Boston Ballet, and now a couple are here in New York, 3 are in Boston, one's in Kansas, you know. So I and my girlfriend, who also is in the company, is in Oslo. So it's a constant juggle of trying to find time, But when we do come together, I think like what Marcelo says is like you almost, because of the time crunch and because you have to create something, you have to be ready in the studio for those dancers, and I know like Marcelo was saying like how he's creating a piece for the company. It's very hard to do that, especially when you're dancing. Yeah, with the ABT. I'm sorry. It's very hard to do that because you know the dancers have their own rehearsals, and then you have your own rehearsals to process and to take care of your body. So it is a challenge, but it is rewarding also. So.
Gemma, you just returned from Atlanta Ballet. So that, yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time in Atlanta. The way that their season works is different to American Ballet Theatre. They have a lot longer to rehearse before the performances, and the premiere of my work isn't going to be till March. So I was so lucky that they just let me have who I wanted when I wanted, because they don't have any pressing performances coming up. So I think I got the best of that situation, which is really nice. And it's my first commission, so they took that into account. Like, we're going to be generous with it.
Okay, one last question for all the dancers. That many of you perform classical works, which means you tell a lot of stories. And how do you bring that to work when you work with other choreography? So in other words, your work in doing Sleeping Beauty or doing Swan Lake, it's very dramatic. It's a narrative. there's a big story there, and sometimes, even though you were telling stories today, but it's not necessarily complete narratives. And how, I mean, do you separate it? It's just that's that, and then this is this? Or do you feel that you bring that ability for you to be that dramatic storytelling ballet dancer into your contemporary?
For me, I've found that I need an inspiration to start the piece, whether it's a poem or I read an article or a book, whatever, something. Just to come up with the first gesture or where it's going. If I don't have that, then making a dance piece is very hard for me. So I definitely use that, and I'm hoping to do more narrative work as I progress. So I'm less of a dance piece person. So yeah, I really want to develop that.
Yeah, like Gemma said, I usually start with an inspiration, but that can be even a life situation. And I haven't really touched on narration. So that may be something I would like to experiment with. But I do like to find my own story to tell the audience, and then have them kind of think of what it's about, and not just be so literal, but almost abstract, so that they could think of cheeseburgers, or they could think of a couple. So yeah.
All right, Cassie, how about you?
Yeah, I think what's really cool about doing these outside projects is, when you do a classical ballet, the story's already laid out. When you see it in the program, you're like, okay, that's what's going to happen. So you already have this idea, this preconceived idea as to how she's going to react to this and that. And what's cool about branching out is it's kind of a collaborative effort to figure out what the story might be. Like what Jeff was saying, it's open for interpretation, and every night it might be a little different. And I think that's really cool too. There's a lot of freedom to make choices, I guess. That's what I've always enjoyed about that.
Whenever I do dances that aren't classical, I always sort of make an internal story as I'm dancing, sort of. So it's sort of, I'm telling a story that I'm making up in my head, whether it's like different every night, but I mean, I'm in classical ballet. The story's already laid out, you have to do point up there, point up there. So, be happy, you said. But for dances like this, there's a lot of freedom to just make it your own. Even though the choreographer, it's her choreography and it's her interpretation of whatever she's trying to express.
And that offers the audience too to have their own interpretation too. Because
Correct.
Really, if that's your story, and they'll have some interpretation too. Marcelo.
I think for me is what's most important is what do the steps mean. You do many arabesques and you do many pirouettes in every ballet, and you saw some classical ballet steps here in every choreography today, but what does it actually mean to you? You have to go inside of the choreographer's mind completely and soak that in and try to put that into the step. If it's the energy, or if it's something that's slow, or if it's grief or nothingness or zero emotion. So you can have many layers, even if it's from 0 to 100. So for me, that's the focus when I do Romeo, or if I do The House of the Rising Sun. So it's you can carry that over.
I'm not a choreographer, really, but as a dancer, I think you have to be a blank canvas. I mean, really. And I think you saw today 3 different voices of choreographers, and as well as our home companies, if you will. I mean, today we were working on a new romance at City Ballet, and George Malching's Nutcracker, and then a new Gomes tonight. It's amazing the versatility you have to have. That's good company. That's very good company. No, but I think that's the challenge, and I try to see everything I can out there, musically, acting, Broadway, doesn't matter. The more I see, the more I can draw on as a performer, and I think that encourages your openness to something as well as the choreographers. I mean, when Marcelo explained to me, this is how I kind of envision this, it gives you the dialogue, it gives you the intention of that scene. So I think the rest of it is you being open as a dancer, and the more open you are, I think the more genuine the voice of the choreographer comes across.
Thank you. So, and to end it, I just want to ask Marcelo if you could just say a few words why helping DRA is important to you.
Oh, well, I have a very interesting story because before I left Brazil, my uncle was diagnosed with AIDS. And it was from a time where the doctors couldn't even say the words. The doctors would tell my mom that he was just sick, but my mom and our whole family knew what was going on. So it was very sudden when I came to New York City that I found out about DRA. I was 18 maybe in the Court Ballet, and I got a call from Hernando Cortez, and we did a show at the bottom of the World Trade Center. That was the first show that I did for DRA. And ever since then, this organization means so much to me because it helps so many people. And just by us being in this room, in this universe, in this world, and making time for DRA means a whole lot to help this wonderful cause, and that needs to be still focused on. And I will do, also like Daniel said, anything Denise calls me, and I'm there, and I wish that all of you do the same, and we try to encourage our friends also to donate their time for Dancers Responding to AIDS, because it's very important to keep it going.
Thank you all so much. I hope you all see their performances at Lincoln Center this winter and spring in both American Ballet Theater and New York City Ballet. We are going to open up. You can have a little more beverages if you want before you go. And please don't be shy. There's a lot of folks to talk to you about how you can help join them in supporting DRA. Okay, thank you so much.